Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Pariprajakacharya Astotra Satasri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Pariprajakacharya Astotra Satasri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Vitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. We have all gathered in the most sacred and auspicious month of Kartik or Damodar. The month of Damodar is compared to a sale in a store. When the store opens, it may have a promotional sale to attract new customers. And during the sale, you can get things of much greater value by paying a much lesser price. So the month of Damodar is like that, with a little investment in devotional service or spiritual practice, bhakti yoga. One gets a great return. And that is also related to Lord Damodar's personal nature. He is pleased by even a little service offered by his devotee, and he reciprocates with them in a wonderful way. Within the month of Kartik, there are many auspicious days. Recently we celebrated Deepavali, and then Govardhan Puja. And today we are celebrating Srila Prabhupada's, our founder Acharya's, disappearance from this world, or departure from this world, which in a way is related to Govardhan Puja, because just a few days before he left, he expressed his desire to go to Govardhan Hill. And there was a controversy amongst Srila Prabhupada's disciples who were with him there in Vrindavan, especially because Srila Prabhupada said he wanted to go to Govardhan Hill by bullock cart. And at the time, Srila Prabhupada's physical body was emaciated. I mean, he hardly had any flesh. It was just like skin and bones. And so some disciples were concerned that if he were to attempt this journey, especially by bullock cart, even if the bullock cart was padded with mattresses, it would be extremely hard for his body to bear. And he could even leave his body on the way to Govardhan Hill. So one group of disciples was in the mood that he should not attempt this journey. And another group of disciples was in the mood that we should just follow the orders of the spiritual master and we should not question them. And personally, I was in Vrindavan at the time, and there were senior devotees on both sides of the controversy. And I myself was not exactly sure what should be the proper response. So, as it happened, the night before, Srila Prabhupada had proposed to go on his bullock cart journey to Govardhan Hill, just before Govardhan Puja. One of Srila Prabhupada's godbrothers, a fellow disciple of Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, came to visit Srila Prabhupada. And the disciples who, I wouldn't say they didn't want him to go to Govardhan Hill, but they wanted him to recover his health more before he attempted the journey. They approached the godbrother, thinking that he could prevail upon Srila Prabhupada not to attempt this journey in his condition. And at that time, so His Holiness Bhakti True Swami, he was Bengali, and he was speaking to that godbrother in Bengali and trying to persuade him to prevail upon Srila Prabhupada. And meanwhile, Tamal Krishna Goswami and Bhavananda Prabhu, they were in great anxiety because they just felt that he wouldn't be able to sustain that journey. And then they were upstairs in Prabhupada's house in Vrindavan, and then they came down, and Prabhupada understood everything that was happening. And he said, so what do you want? You want that I should not go? And they said, yes, Srila Prabhupada, we feel that you're in no condition to make this trip by bullock cart, especially. And Srila Prabhupada said, all right. My right hand and my left hand are requesting me. I will not put you in anxiety. And I said, yes, we were in too much anxiety. And Srila Prabhupada said that that is not my position to put you in anxiety. And so Srila Prabhupada stayed, and eventually, maybe 3 days after Govardhan Puja, he left on this date, on this very date. But even after he left, the controversy continued amongst some of the disciples. Was it correct to have asked Srila Prabhupada not to go, or should we have just complied with his request? And I was somewhat confused. As I mentioned, I did have friends in both camps, although I was more with the devotees who felt that Srila Prabhupada's very fragile body would not be able to sustain that journey. So after a couple of days, being preoccupied with this thought, I went into Srila Prabhupada's room, and at that time, a new volume of Srimad Bhagavatam had just arrived, the 10th canto, 12th chapter. And, sitting behind Srila Prabhupada's bed amongst his books, I opened that volume, and it just came to a statement that that the Supreme Lord, who is completely independent, has one transcendental attribute, and that is that he comes under the control of his devotees. And that is the pastime of Lord Damodar being bound by his mother's ropes. And you see the figures of Mother Yashoda and Lord Damodar. And it occurred to me that Srila Prabhupada was demonstrating the same characteristic of coming under the control of his devotees' love. Now, throughout this month of Damodar, we sing a prayer called the Damodar Astaka from the Padma Purana, which summarizes the Damodar pastime. And in this pastime, Lord Damodar shows that he is not controlled by devotees who worship him with awe and reverence, but he is controlled by the love of devotees who serve him in pure, spontaneous love. And that is, in a way, the essential lesson of the Damodar Leela. So I started considering all these transcendental features in relation to Srila Prabhupada's final pastimes with us, that he was trying to draw out from us more love, and he succeeded. When Tamal Krishna Goswami and Bhavananda Prabhu came down, Tamal Krishna Goswami said, Srila Prabhupada, the way you deal with us, you just put us in so much anxiety and bring out so much love for you. And Srila Prabhupada replied, that is my duty. So all the devotees involved in the controversy were trying to serve Srila Prabhupada and please Srila Prabhupada according to their realizations. But the devotee who expressed that loving mood of wanting to keep him, and when they came down and Prabhupada agreed not to go, he said to his godbrother, just see how much they love me. So that was their love, and that love you could say, bound Srila Prabhupada. And so he did not go on that bullock cart expedition. Although a few days later, the devotees did arrange to take Srila Prabhupada to Govardhan in deity form. I didn't even know that we had deities of Prabhupada then, but later, I mean, obviously they did. So this is our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, bringing out that mood of loving service. Now, so much could and has been said and should and will be said about Srila Prabhupada's surrender to his spiritual master, and how he took the orders of his spiritual master as his life and soul. And we also should take Srila Prabhupada's orders as our life and soul, and that will keep us connected with him always. During those days after Srila Prabhupada left, devotees in Vrindavan and all over the world were wondering, how can we survive without Srila Prabhupada? How will we continue without his association and guidance? And I came across a passage in Srimad Bhagavatam that seemed exactly relevant. And later I found that other disciples had come across the same section of Srimad Bhagavatam in different places. This is before computers and Google, and we just had the printed books. So this is the fourth canto, 28th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in this section, a king goes into the forest to perform austerities. This is the Vanaprastha ashram. Vana means forest. And his faithful wife accompanied him into the forest. And at a certain stage, the wife, who was tending to her husband, understood that the soul had left the body. Or in other words, that her husband had died. And then follows a series of verses about the departure of the spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada explains that figuratively the queen is the disciple of the husband, or the spiritual master. So I'll just read one verse to give you an idea of how relevant these verses and purports are to us as disciples and followers of Srila Prabhupada, and also as a way of understanding his service to his spiritual master. Now, his spiritual master left this world in 1936, and Srila Prabhupada came to America all alone, without any resources, in fragile health even then, suffering 2 heart attacks at sea, to carry out the order of his spiritual master. That was already 30 years after his spiritual master had left. So I'll just read one or two verses. Text 47. Being now alone and a widow in that forest, the daughter of Vidarbha began to lament, incessantly shedding tears, which soaked her breast, and crying very loudly. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Figuratively, the queen is supposed to be the disciple of the king. Thus, when the mortal body of the spiritual master expires, his disciples should cry exactly as the queen cries when the king leaves his body. And that's certainly what happened when Srila Prabhupada left in Vrindavan. I mean, it happened not only in Vrindavan, all over the world. It happened here in New Dwarka when the announcement was made to the devotees. However, the disciple and the spiritual master are never separated, because the spiritual master always keeps company with the disciple as long as the disciple follows strictly the instructions of the spiritual master. This is called the association of vani, words. Physical presence is called vapu. As long as the spiritual master is physically present, the disciple should serve the physical body of the spiritual master. And when the spiritual master is no longer physically existing, the disciple should serve the instructions of the spiritual master. Now, in one sense, this is quite an advanced topic because it addresses disciples of a spiritual master. And not everyone here has accepted a spiritual master. In the killing of the demons by Krishna, different demons represent different challenges that one may face. So one of the demons that Krishna killed was Putana. Putana was a demon who disguised herself as a beautiful woman and came to suckle baby Krishna. You know, she deceived him. So Putana is considered to represent the false gurus. And so people are wary. You know, they don't want to accept a false guru, which is correct. But within the list of different types of false gurus is our own mind. So in the course of avoiding surrendering to a spiritual master on the grounds that he may deceive us, we may be deceived by another false guru, which is our own minds. So this is a critical point in one's spiritual progress in Bhakti Yoga. Srila Rupa Goswami has written one book the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which Srila Prabhupada translated in a summary study as the Nectar of Devotion. And Rupa Goswami lists 10 preliminary items of devotional service. And until we can follow these preliminary items, we cannot progress further. And these first items are Ado Guru Padashraya, to take shelter of the lotus feet of a spiritual master. Shiksheti, Diksheti, one should take instruction from him, one should take initiation from him. Sadharma Prichiti, one should inquire about eternal religious principles from him. But anyway, we're discussing the philosophy here, and the philosophy is that after the physical departure of the spiritual master, one should strictly follow the instructions of the spiritual master. And this gave great, solace and guidance to Srila Prabhupada's disciples then. Just a few more sentences. In the next verse, utistotista. Have you heard that word? Utistotista. We say it when we wake up the deities. Utistotista rajarshe imam udadi mekalam dasyubhya kshatrabandhubhyo bibyatim patum arasi. O best of kings, please get up. She's addressing her dead husband. O best of kings, please get up. Get up. Just see this world surrounded by water and infested with rogues and so-called rulers. This world is very much afraid, and it is your duty to protect her. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Whenever an acharya comes, following the superior orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his representative, he establishes the principles of religion as enunciated in the Bhagavad Gita. Religion means abiding by the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Religious principles begin from the time one surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the Acharya's duty to spread a bona fide religious system and induce everyone to bow down before the Supreme Lord. One executes the religious principles by rendering devotional service, specifically the 9 items, like hearing, chanting, and remembering. Unfortunately, when the Acharya disappears, rogues and non-devotees take advantage and immediately begin to introduce unauthorized principles in the name of so-called swamis, yogis, philanthropists, welfare workers, and so on. The perfect disciples of the Acharya try to relieve the situation by sincerely following the instructions of the spiritual master. Everyone should cooperate with this movement in order to bring about actual peace and happiness in the world. So Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was extremely powerful Acharya. In fact, it is unusual to have 3 such powerful Acharyas, one after the other. Our Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and then before him his father and Shikshaguru Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It's very unusual that one after the other, such extraordinarily powerful acharyas have come. And we are fortunate to be connected with them somehow or other. And our duty is to serve their mission by following their instructions. And there are many details contained in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, which I request you all to read. But that is the essence, that we should be prepared to lay down our lives to serve the order of the spiritual master without personal consideration, as Srila Prabhupada did for his spiritual master, which is why we are all here. If Srila Prabhupada hadn't done that, we would not be here today. Now this morning we heard many beautiful appreciations of Srila Prabhupada, and many of them emphasize this point of Vani Seva and Vapu Seva, serving the instructions of the spiritual master in the absence of the physical presence of the spiritual master. And many disciples during Srila Prabhupada's physical presence asked him how they could get guidance when he's not available. And in many cases, he gave the same answer in maybe slightly different versions, but the same answer, which is that if you chant the holy names of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra nicely, then all of the answers will come to you. I joined in the Boston temple, and Satsvarupa Maharaj was the temple president. He also asked Srila Prabhupada that now you are here, and if we have any questions, we can approach you directly. But what about when you're not here? How do we get answers? And Srila Prabhupada replied that the holy name of Krishna is not different from Krishna. Do you realize this fact? And each and every one of us can realize this fact by offenseless chanting of the holy name. So whatever happens, Kirtaniya Sadahari, we should always chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah. And never stop. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions or comments? Oh yes, Lalita.
Which group was technically right? Was there any group that was technically right, or both of them like?
Yeah, she's saying that when Srila Prabhupada expressed his desire to go to Govardhan Hill by bullock cart, and one group was in favor and the other group was not in favor.
They were concerned about his health.
Out of concern for his health. Which group was technically correct, or was one group technically correct? Well, they were both correct, because they both wanted to serve Srila Prabhupada and fulfill his desires according to their realization.
So which attitude should we have?
In the beginning, we should just follow the instructions. Srila Prabhupada explained that there are actually 4 categories of disciples. One, we'll say 3. One gets an instruction from the spiritual master and doesn't follow it. Srila Prabhupada gave the example that he'll give a disciple an instruction and the disciple will say, "Yes, Srila Prabhupada, I'll do it." And then halfway down the stairs, he'll stop and think, "Now what was it that Srila Prabhupada wanted me to do?" So that's like the 3rd category. The 2nd category gets an instruction from the spiritual master and executes it perfectly. And the 1st category knows what the spiritual master wants even without the spiritual master telling him. So we should initially try to act on the 2nd platform of executing the orders perfectly. And after we do that, sufficiently, then we may come to the point where the spiritual master within the heart inspires us to do what he wants even without his physically telling us.
Thank you.
Maybe I missed out, but maybe you explained and I missed it. What did the godbrother say when he was asked to decide the matter?
Oh, yes. Well, he was, I think he was inclined to support the devotees who felt that it would be too difficult for Prabhupada to endure that journey. But there was a whole drama there. There was a whole drama because, anyway, there's a whole drama. But yeah, I mean, he was supporting them. He was supporting them. And so Prabhupada said, Babaji Maharaj, just see how much they love me. But there are mysteries in this. So I don't want to, and exactly what his position was a little mysterious. I mean, Bhakti True Swami approached him and he felt that he was sympathetic, but the way it all worked out, I don't know. I'm not so clear on that point. All right, so do we have a master of ceremonies here? Go to Chandra Prabhu, you're a local leader. What? Oh, prasadam. Prasadam. And then, after prasad, we come back at 7. There will be an arti in Srila Prabhupada's rooms upstairs. It's a tradition in Vrindavan that they gather in Srila Prabhupada's room because he left at about 7:25 in the evening, so they have our tea during that time. And then at 7:30 there will be a slide show in the temple about Srila Prabhupada here in Los Angeles and different sacred articles that belong to him or were related to his mission that are housed in his quarters upstairs. And then there may be more sharing of realizations and appreciations of Srila Prabhupada. So prasad is just the next step in the journey. It's not the end of the journey, but it is the next step in the journey, and we hope to see you thereafter as well. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.